right, MJD, our first one out of the gate. I've talked to you about a lot of running backs over the years, and I haven't seen you kind of light up when you talk about a back like you did when we were breaking down TreVeyon Henderson, mainly because of the way when you put the film on, you watched him just explode people in the middle of that Ohio State offensive line, and guys were coming, you're going, I have not seen somebody come into the league with this type of pass protection type of experience and acumen. It might have taken a minute, and we'll talk about it, but he still finished the regular season second among all rookies with 911 rushing yards, 64 behind Ashton Genty, and led first-year running backs with yards per carry at 5.1. That's pretty dang good. 9 rushing touchdowns. He also had 4 rushing TDs of 50 or more yards, tied for an NFL rookie record. TreVeyon Henderson, he live up to what you thought?
Yeah. I mean, probably more. The first time you touch the ball, you go 100 to the house on kickoff return. I literally immediately text my buddy who's a scout for the Patriots, was like, I told you this was the guy. I told you guys hit it out of the park. I thought they had an issue. I don't know if it was the OC or what was going on, but he didn't play early enough for me. And even though Ramondre Stevens was fumbling the football, they just couldn't find ways to get him on the field. Ramondre gets hurt, and then all of a sudden this young man explodes, right? Wins the Tampa Bay game. He has some explosive runs all over there, catching the ball out of the backfield. He did everything. To me, he showed that he was explosive. Like we talked about, and not only was he explosive, he was probably the most explosive player in the draft, meaning he was explosive in the blocking game, the catching game, and the running game. Mm-hmm. And you saw that. And so I love that New England kind of went into him. They kind of molded the game. Like once he went out, they channeled the game to him. I know he got banged up a little bit towards the end of the year, but dude, like there was weeks where you're like, another 50-yard run, another 50-yard run. Here goes another catch and run, like return. He was doing everything for the New England Patriots. Part of the reason the New England Patriots are where they are now is because of what he was able to do. So to me, they definitely have a 2-back system there, which will help him early in his career. I just think down the road, he's going to end up being the guy, and it's going to be because of the blocking, the understanding the system, the way I felt like it took New England a little bit of time to understand him and learn him. But like I said, once you get a running back, and again, it reminds me a lot of myself, return kicks and punts, catches the ball out of the backfield, can block and run in between the tackles and outside. You can do everything. And so when he stepped on the scene with that 100-yard kickoff return, Mike Vrabel probably looked at McDaniel and was like, what are we doing? Why is he not touching the ball? And I know that was in the preseason, but he was like, we need to get this guy the ball. And then they started doing it, and you started to see that production go.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you want explosiveness? Hey, coach, check this out. The first time the ball touches my hands when we're in between the white lines, I'm taking it to the house.
Exactly.
You're spot on with that feeling out process, because I know you loved the way he was able to be a pass protector, but also, and I want you to tell everybody this, it's done differently in different buildings. And the way that Josh McDaniels does it, is what I was told, is what they needed to kind of figure out how TreVeyon Henderson can do what he does really well, but do it in the manner in which they do it. What do they kind of mean by that when I'm being told, hey, look, we know he can do it. We just need him to do it our way so it works in our system. And also our quarterback's lining up in some spots, and we're doing some formations that you weren't in a whole lot at Ohio State. So it's all of these moving parts within the formation to get you to do what we know you can do, but to do it to where you don't get our MVP caliber quarterback murdered.
Well, okay, so the first part is protections are completely different. It's like learning a different language, if that makes sense. Every offense is a completely different language. Even though Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay came out of the same tree, they say things differently, right? And so it's like I don't even know how to, it's like Spanish from Spain and Spanish from Mexico. Both Spanish.
You travel the world, man. I know you do.
Both Spanish. There's some words that
they're very different.
That are very different, right? And so you have to. I used to tell people this all the time. In order to be a football player, you have to be brilliant, because this person may call a dig. Some people may call it an in. Some people may call it a dagger. Some people may call it you have to be able to. Okay, I remember this. It's this, and I want it ran at 12 yards, not 15. right? Or I want to run at 13, not at 14, because this is how their system works. Now, I always hate guys are like, it's my system. It's my system. Like, it should never be about your system. It should be about the player. But I understand what they mean by that, because when I have a certain protection, that may force you to full scan, right? So there's different type of scans in this in the football world. There's two. There's a half field scan, meaning that you literally cut the field in half, and you have your two guys and everyone on this side of the field, right? If we were cutting the field in half, I'm on the left side. You have everyone on the left side. Someone else is going to take everyone on the right side. And then you have full field scans, which means the O-line are going to block the 4 down, and then whatever linebacker they pick, and then you have everyone else if they blitz. If that is something that most colleges don't do. When I was in college with Eric Bieniemy, we rarely did that, because you're asking an 18-year-old to like understand trigonometry and different angles and where this guy line, like that. It's a lot. Yeah. And so that's probably what happened, is that they were asking them to full scan more than he was used to. And if you have a full scan, you have to make sure that you completely protect before you get out. And I'm sure that was probably the biggest issue. And so again, you have to put the work in to do that, one. And then two, I thought he struggled a lot with A-gap blitzes, right? Okay. When the guys blitz in the A-gap, you can't cut him. Because he'll fall right into the quarterback's lap, and that's how the quarterback gets hurt. You have to get in there and you have to fit up on those guys right away. And I thought a lot of times he was hesitant, like, is this the guy I have to take? And again, they kind of, you saw that throughout the game. And then obviously as the season got on, he got a lot better at it. But to me, I thought he was just hesitating a lot early when the guys were in the A-gap. Because again, you want to protect inside out. The quickest way to the quarterback is right down the middle. You want to protect inside out. You got to step there first and then retreat to go get someone else. And some of these blitzes that obviously guys are bringing against the Patriots were starting to confuse them a little bit.
Yeah, and that's all part of the growing process. The one thing that I was like, no fear in the pass protection at all. Loves doing it. Actually, like that team first of mentality is like, it's something he takes pride in, which if you know anything about Mike Vrabel, this is like the type of guy that you want in that building, is the way that he goes about his business with that. With the explosiveness and the explosive side of things. Like, I'll get to this and then I want to ask you about between the tackles. But when I was looking at this, 8.9% of his runs were explosive. That's 12 yards or more. That's higher than James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. Like that's telling us something, MJD. Like, is he the most explosive back we saw out of this class? Like, is that hands down? Is that easy? Or okay,
that's easy. I mean, he was. Granted, the reason I say that he was the most explosive is you could tell by how he runs. He runs explosive. Like when his foot hits the ground and it pushes off, he is getting after. He's like gaining ground quickly, and it's over time.
He sees daylight.
He has a great feel for where the hole needs to go and where the ball needs to go and where the linemen are going to be. But it's just he is just an explosive player. There's some people that are just twitchy. I think that's what Daniel Jeremiah uses. He's twitchy. He's twitched up or whatever it may be. There's certain people that just have that. There's others that are, as they get going, they got to get going a little bit to get to top speed. He's not one of those guys. He can make a cut and get to top speed in 2 steps. And that to me is what made him so explosive. I want to say he was one of the faster backs too in the draft. So you saw that at the combine. You saw all those little things. But again, like I said, it's just a lot. His issue early on was just the protection. All the other stuff came natural. I mean, he caught a pass out of the backfield. I don't know. I think it was against Miami, and literally went to go run a guy over, bounced off a guy, got like 4 or 5 more yards. Like, he has a skill set to make people miss. He has a skill set to take it the distance. We've already talked about the 100-yard kickoff return. He is just an explosive player. And when you get guys like that, you want to use him in certain situations.
And we're seeing that so much now, right? Like, I'm excited to see what Jahmyr Gibbs gets paid. Like, it should happen this offseason. And like, hey, man, I am a weapon. Like, where do you want to put me? Like, where can I can he get to that?
Getting paid, where do you think Bijan's going to get paid?
Bijan's just
and hey, how about this? It's almost time to pay CMC again. He just went for, at 30 years old? He just went for 1,000. Like, it's just these guys, again, we talk about taking care of your bodies and all that stuff matters, because as you get older, if you can continue to produce the way some of these guys are producing, You can get paid, and you already have a natural skill set of being explosive. We just talked about coaches wanting to run 3 plays. Well, that's a guy that can get it done in 1 play.
Yep,
right? 100%. I want to be able to call 1 play and let you go the distance. I don't want to worry about calling 17 plays. And who wants to do that?
I don't need to be in a rhythm as a play caller. I just need 1 play. Oh, I remember talking to some people in Atlanta. You brought up Bijan. It just was funny. They, after Bijan ran all over your Rams, I was like, is there an issue? I say, is there an issue up front with this D-line that I think is good in LA? And I got back, no, we just have an absolute freak at running back. That's just what we have.
Listen, the running back coach for the Atlanta Falcons, I don't know if he's still there because I know the coaching staff got fired. Mm-hmm. That was my college roommate. He was my fullback in college. His name was Michael Petrie. Yeah, I met him before the game. Hugged him, talked to him. Great friend, one of my best buddies. But he was like, man, what are the Rams worried about? I was like 7. I'm like, we don't care about anyone else but 7, because you miss 1 tackle, he'll go 90, and that's what that's the fear of that puts the defense on his heels already. Because now guys are all week they've been hearing, you can't miss a tackle, you can't do this, you can't do that, and then what do they go out and do? They do it. That's all they've been hearing, right? And that's a great point. That's what TreVeyon Henderson brings to the table. If you miss the tackle, I remember this, and we were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I remember Mike Tomlin went in his press conference, and he was like, listen, when you talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, you got to stop 32, right? Mm-hmm. He was like, and what scares us about 32 is if we're not where we're supposed to be, he will score a touchdown from anywhere on the field. Mm-hmm. It forces them to be in prevent and can't play aggressive, if that makes sense, No. And that's what Bijan does. That's what Gibbs does. That's what all these McCaffrey, all these guys do, because they have the ability to take it the distance. TreVeyon Henderson does that in 3 different phases.
Can he be those guys, MJ?
He can be that chess piece. He
Okay.
can be those guys for sure. I don't know if he's necessarily like start and stop like Bijan or the creativity. And he doesn't have the overall acceleration and speed of Gibbs, but he doesn't
Christian
get
catches the ball and
behind.
runs routes
he doesn't run. He doesn't get caught from behind, and and again he has when you become. It reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson is probably a borderline Hall of Famer because he has more 60-yard touchdowns than anyone in the NFL history. That tells you that you better, when he's on the field, you needed to be ready. Your hamstrings better been working. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so the same with TreVeyon Henderson. Your hamstrings better be working if he breaks out, because it's going to be hard to go get him. And so to me, again, it just puts fear in the defense.
What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house, it's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action, so when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood. Now available across the US, download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. That leads me to this. A couple of defense coaches went against him, said, I TBD on him between the tackles. Outside, I got no question. I just already in rookie year blew my mind here. That's where I see him being a successful back. I don't know if he's a between the tackles guy. That's just their opinion. What did you see about him being this guy that you can? And now the end, right? Ramondre Stevenson's a good back. You can use 2 backs. But what do you think about his growth between the tackles and what kind of back he can be there?
Between the tackles, more about vision and feeling, right? You got to feel guys. I can't look at my lineman. I have to be looking at the second level, and I have to feel guys that are like around me. I think that's going to come with time. I think that's the growth part. When we get to growth in between the tackles, I probably give him like a C+, B-. But that's not what they ask him to do all the time either.
Exactly.
Right? They ask him to get outside and be explosive. And so that tells you that's his strength. And then we need to improve on getting in between the tackles. But right now you don't have to because Ramondre Stevenson does it. So we have time to do those things. We have enough time to grow in that area. But I've still seen him break through the tackles. I mean, against Tampa, he ran right between the tackles and went 80 to the crib. Yeah. So it's not like he can't do it.
Right through the smoke.
I think it's more of a consistency feel for him. So like I said, like a B- is about good, where in between the tackles is he can be explosive in between the tackles, but it's can you be consistently explosive? There's some plays where I think he'll go 80. There's others he'll get 2, maybe a -1, right? And so those are kind of the things that when you look at these backs and you look at what he's done in New England, where Ramondre Stevenson comes in, he can be that guy for you while we continue to train those attributes and those things that are needed to be better in between the tackles.
Yeah, you hinted, by the way. I know one back that I really do love the fit. Was this the back you were talking about or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he fit. I thought he fits with all the versatility you're talking about to what Josh wants to do and what Josh wants to do over the next 5 years.
Yeah. So
what he can do.
I think they see him as James White, but I don't think he's James White. I think he's a better version of James White. I think he can be an every down guy. But that's not in their system. They have 2 backs, right? You have a guy like they've always had like a Jarvis Green Ellis or whatever, the law firm. You remember the law firm they used to have? Big guy running downhill, and then James White was a third down back.
Yeah.
And James White wasn't necessarily a third down back. That was his role, though, and he fit that role perfectly. But he also could be an every down guy as well. But he just excelled in that third down. I think TreVeyon Henderson can excel in both.
Okay.
But it's on them. And again, the only reason I said it's not a bad fit schematic wise, it's a bad fit usage wise. They're not going to use him unless they have to in those situations.
I get what you're saying. Okay. All right. You want to do some grades then?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, then explosive plays.
I mean, A+.
You want me to put another plus on there?
Plus on 2 pluses.
2 pluses. A++ works. His parents are gonna be very proud of that one. Hands for Adrian. A. Okay.
Catches the ball well. I didn't see it's effortlessly. Like he catches it, seeks it, and he goes.
Yep. Okay. Well, with the pass protection, we always talk about, and I think we're too specific on playing in an offensive system and only talking about the quarterback, right? Like, what's year 2? What's year 3 like for the quarterback in the same system? It was like way you were describing about the pass protection and how they want him to do it. I feel like year 2, because it's already a skill set he has, and knowing the system even better, this could be like.
Oh yeah, no, I think he'll be much better. I was gonna say I give him a B just because again there was some hesitation early on.
Totally,
it's not a want to though. It's more of an understanding. Yeah, thing. And I've heard in New England they have like 30 protections, which is crazy, right? So it's like each protection it's just like so you got to remember all those things, and then you still got to get out in your route concept, and that takes time. But I think he'll for sure jump on and be a guy.
Yeah, that's kind of why I said it. It's not like it's his skill set. It's the system. Figure it out.
Right.
Let's fly. All right. So then growth. What do we got from
I would say B+. I think his growth is he has a lot of room to grow. I think he can be more explosive. I think they could utilize him more in certain ways. But I think what he did this year, again, I try to, like I said, potential. If you want to put like he has potential to be a borderline Hall of Famer. I think a lot of these guys have that potential of doing that, but will they allow him to is a question, right? Because are you going to allow him to be, in order to be a Hall of Fame running back, you have to have yardage and you got to have usage. Will they allow him to get that yardage and usage the way he should?
Yeah, that's numbers are a huge thing for Hall of Fame backs. I mean, people are just looking down the.
Yeah, they don't. Listen, James, I've been fighting the good fight. I tell people all the time, I respect and love everyone that's in the Hall of Fame as a running back, but I don't think one of them seen 10 guys in the box like I did.
100%.
Just say
100%. And I will say this, and this is in defense to you because I loved watching you play, and you're my boy. But like Andre Johnson, what did they say all the time? He needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Look at the quarterbacks he played with.
Yeah,
it was like that caveat that went with him going in. You deserve the same thing,
dude,
man.
It's funny. Like I said, it's funny. Marshall, when he used to be here, we used to have these conversations, and I was like, Marshall, I don't think they ever loaded the box when you were like maybe in Indy. When you were in Indy, maybe when you went to the Rams. I think I watched games like I thought they had like 5 guys in the box, so you had so many good players outside, right? But again,
Yeah.
it's just the situation that you're in. And I think that's what I'm talking about is if he's in a different situation with some of these other guys, like I said, we're gonna talk, the next guy we're gonna talk about is in a completely different situation, and if he's utilized as such, he has to. This guy TreVeyon Henderson has the potential to be that because of his explosive nature. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is on his way, and those guys are on their way to being borderline Hall of Famers. They're breaking records left and right, but you have to continue the usage, and you have to be available for the usage as well.
Look at Jahmyr Gibbs' situation. You're not low. You're not. You got to pay attention to the box. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Jameson Williams who's going to fly down the field. You got Sam Laporta in the intermediate game. Like, you got a lot to worry about. Let's see what happens there in New England. I love it.